Guys, guess what? Noah is not lazy anymore. We are doing episode 1 of the DSS podcast. Now, if you
Uh,
didn't know, I think the first episode, or episode 0, occurred. Let's figure
Episode
this out.
0,
Uh,
like a year ago.
let's see, let's see.
I'll say it's fully been a year.
Let's see. 7 months
7 months.
ago. So,
Ah,
I told you that second episode was coming. I was not lying. It just took 7 months for us to conjure up what we're about to cook for you guys today. And what
mm-hmm.
exactly are we cooking for our loyal viewers today?
Our 33 viewers.
Oh, I mean, that's a lot of views. That's a lot of
That's
views.
that's more views than I've ever gotten.
That's more views than women have talked to me in my total life. So, anyhow, um, so what what are we doing here today?
Well, I think we're gonna start with some pick'ems. You currently have mine pulled up,
Oh,
but
this is mine, but we're gonna make
this is
one.
yours.
We're going to make one.
Oh, Draken's not gonna 5 stack with us. Oh no.
What man, that horrible. That guy's terrible at the game. Anyhow, um,
Yeah, that guy sucks.
so we're going to make a pick'em, and this is gonna be our pick'em.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna start with the pick'em.
A joint pick'em. A joint pick'em. This is Noah's, but we're gonna
Joint pick'em.
adjust.
So, uh, first game, Fnatic versus the famed or
I mean,
infamous
okay, we
Billy
we
Billy
we
Gaming.
can skip like these first two. Fnatic and DRX are fucking wiping these teams.
I mean, and it's in this order too, right?
I think
Crew gets
Crew could
Billy
play
Billy.
closer,
Okay.
but yeah. Actually, it starts with Group B, if I'm not mistaken, schedule wise. Um, but Fnatic is destroying Billy. There is a bit of an argument that Fnatic's best map is Haven, which is Billy's worst map, so probably going to be their permaban during the tournament. Uh, so there's a possibility Billy plays the map pool smart, but also they won't. Uh, Billy is not as good as Fnatic, so Fnatic was
Oh,
that.
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
and then it's the
crazy.
same thing for DRX versus Crew. DRX, their best map is also Crew's best map. They're both really good at Haven. Actually, I think everyone but Billy is really good at Haven. Uh, and Billy is really bad at Haven. So honestly, Billy kind of that actually could play to their advantage if you see a team get Billy'd. I think I have Crew getting Billy'd, but we'll get to that later.
You know
So
what? Crew getting Billy Billy would be really funny. I,
yeah, so similarly, I think it's a map pool diff from DRX against Crew. It's like both Billy and Crew are like really good at like one map, which just isn't gonna work well against Fnatic and DRX.
okay.
So
W pick 'em.
I think, yep. But we're gonna go to that lower. We're gonna talk about Crew getting Billy because what did I just say?
You think Crew's getting Billy Billy?
Crew's Crew has 3 bad maps. They have Sunset, they have Icebox, and they have Ascent. Guess what? Billy's best, 2 of their best maps are
Uh,
Icebox and Ascent, and their worst map, Billy's, is Haven, which is Crew's best map. So likely the permaban. And Crew isn't that good on a lot of other maps. Like
and they're decent at
they
Lotus.
they're decent at Lotus. They're decent at Lotus, but like that's one map in a best of 3. I think there's a legitimate argument that Crew get Billy.
Well,
Um,
folks, you are hearing it first. Lord Buckethead has predicted Crew will get Billy Billied. Now, what
mhm.
happened? Are you gonna do anything special if Crew does get Billy Billied here?
Bragg probably. If Crew gets Billy, I'm just gonna be like,
Will you buy me a taco
honestly,
from Taco Bell if Crew
no.
gets
I'll
Billy
kind of
Billied?
actually be sad. I don't want Crew to be Billy. I like Crew. I'd like to see. First of all, Americas on top. I don't give a fuck about any teams as long as they're from Americas. EMEA, gross. APAC, fucking wash. None of them are good. Americas is where it's at. NA on top, and then South NA second. So
South
I would love for
NA
Crew to get out.
or just
South NA.
South
Yeah.
A?
No, South NA. South
Oh,
NA.
okay.
So I would love for Crew not to get Billy, but I gotta go with the stats. But also it is Chinese
Okay.
region map. win
I
rates. So
think we spent enough time on this pick 'em because the other ones are gonna hold more
it
weight.
also doesn't matter whoever wins because they're getting kicked
You're
out by
right.
fucking DRX. Yeah.
Okay,
This next group,
this one's
this
bad.
is where it's at.
This is bad. And these
Sorry,
all
Sam.
four of these teams are so good. And my the reason I have Sentinels going through is I feel like if I can't support them, then
Yeah.
like I
I
have
mean,
to have them going through my pick 'em for it to be reasonable that they even have a chance to win. So I'm a Sentinels
they're
fan.
not beating Gen G though. Gen
No,
G
no.
don't have a bad map. They haven't played Abyss. You actually have no idea what their Abyss is like. But they have an above 50% win rate on every map except Sunset, which is 50%. So
You know, the way
they're
Gen
pretty
G's been
good at
playing
most
as well
maps.
too, compared to Sentinel's recent form. I mean, obviously recent form's kind of
Yeah,
hard because they won every game in Stage 2 up until the G2 game and then they lost to 100 Thieves, but
yeah.
I don't know.
And also, Sen's only got two good maps. They got Lotus and they got Sunset. Now that splits out. Um,
And Sunset has left
they get yeah, Sunset still, and I don't know if they try this Deadlock Ascent shit again. Uh,
I may
Honestly, not a terrible comp. Not a terrible comp. They just play it poorly. They're gonna get freaking wiped.
yeah, no. No offense, but 100 Thieves is nowhere good as Gen G. So if they're
No.
pulling that shit against Gen G, it's GG.
Yeah.
So the first
Yeah.
game, I still think Gen G beats Sentinels. On the other side,
Mm-hmm.
Heretics and Fun Plus Phoenix. I like FPX to be honest. They're my favorite Chinese team at this event. Um, I think they're the best Chinese team at this event at their peak.
Oh, by far, by far.
I think Ever Gaming has more experience, which is another thing. You can always tag on as to whether or not they're gonna win.
Edward Gaming has been looking better, but we'll get to that later.
But I think,
I still think FPX is just the best Chinese team.
but I still think
Like,
Heretics beats them. They're. I feel like Heretics
true.
is a.
I think FPX is a very unique style of game that up against a team that has not played them before. Oh, 100%. I call that upset. But they're in a group with the two teams that have beat them in internationals before, Gen G and Team Heretics. They got grouped by them at Shanghai. And
Yeah.
wait, did they also get? I will not speak about Madrid because I don't remember off the top of my head. But I think that's a really bad matchup. I would love to see them FBX get it out of groups. I just I just don't see it happening.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. As much as I like to see them
I
get out
mean,
of groups,
in
they
my
kind of
own
got
personal
screwed.
pickums, in my own personal pickups, I have SVX beating Team Heretics there, but that's just a little like underdog pred. I don't really have any
It was actually
stats to back that
Loud
up.
who eliminated FPX from Madrid.
Shanghai, Madrid. Okay, okay.
And then, so in Madrid they lost to
Oh
Carmen
yeah,
Pro
they
and
yeah
Loud,
QCK farmed the Chinese teams. Yeah.
and then and what was the last one? Shanghai. Can we talk
Mm,
about these terrible? I had to wake up at 4 a.m. to watch the Sentinels game. Like, what the fuck, man?
skill issue.
This is bullshit. I. Oh wait, are we swearing?
Move. I've already sworn like 7 times.
Okay, well, fuck.
Just
Um,
move. That's what I did during Shanghai. Just move to a different country. Easy.
yeah, okay. My broke ass ain't doing that. Okay, FPX did
Okay,
beat
let's get it. Yeah.
Foot.
Hmm?
Oh yeah, I'm reading
Yeah,
this.
but
Heretics eliminated them in Shanghai. That was
yep, yeah,
bullshit.
yeah, because they was the Swiss and FVX beat Foot, but they lost to both finalists.
I do think
So
I've
FVX number three team in Shanghai.
okay. So now we got here. I still think Genji beats Heretics. I think
Team Heretics has a good map pool, um, but it's not nearly as good as Genji's. I think Genji are the favorites
and also
um,
on Heretics'
for
Sunset,
this
they have
tournament.
not looked great. So,
Yeah,
which was their
it is a
second
bit
event going
questionable
into this
recently.
tournament, and the last I think in their whatever the last
Team
place they
Heretics
finished.
bind has improved a lot though. Like basically, Team Heretics went up against G2 and their bind became so much better because they learned from G2. Like you could see them develop a better game plan to beat G2 on it, and it's been working for them. So there is like they no longer have their crutch map of like okay we can always win Sunset, but they have improved their map pool a bit. But it's still not as good as Genji's. Like I said, Genji is just really good on every map.
Okay, and then the lower bracket, I think Sentinels. would be at
Oh,
PX.
I think it'd be so funny. I think it'd be so funny. I actually, in my own pickups, I have Team Heretics beating Sen in for Sen going out 0-2, but uh, we can get to that. I Sen will beat FPX. I
Yeah,
think Sen
and then I think in reality,
that the one of the problems with some of the Chinese teams is they don't have a fully developed map pool, so Sen can beat them off the two good maps. It's very doable with just having a couple good maps. You can beat
but I do think
quite a few of the Chinese
Ghost might
teams.
lose to Heretics in what we have right now. I definitely
Yes.
do think
I
that
can
will
go over the.
happen.
We've hammered on the map pool thing, dude. Two maps is rough. Sen has to be. The way Sen gets out of groups is if they fucking
Coconut.
cook up like more stuff coming into champs. They better have been hiding some cracked abyss strats. If not, they're getting
Okay. And just for the sake of time, we'll go on to the next group. We have a lot of
grouped.
we have a couple longer things planned today, so I want to make sure we get through everything. This group is another, I think, easier one.
Can we just lock? Yeah, Lev 100% making out. This Lev got the easiest group ever. This is why teams should care about seeding because Lev,
Pause.
yep, well, Lev is going to kind of stomp Talent because no offense to Talent, they are not good. They are good on Bind and they're decent at Lotus. They're abysmal at
And we'll
so
see
many
how
other
they
maps. At Ascent,
prepare
at
for
Haven,
the.
at Sunset. Yeah, and then there's the question of implementing Primi. I think Primi is going to be an amazing player next year. It's they've had so little time to implement this new player. It got them into champs, but I don't think it's going to win them champs.
And then for my second team coming out of this group, I had Vitality. I'm a safe believer.
Uh, yeah, safe just team diffs trace
Um,
like solo. So
I think safe also beats Talon. So I'm a big safe player. I watched them play, and the lower finals of EMEA and then against Fnatic. Um,
also Vitality just has like they don't have a great map pool.
but it's like they're good on
But
a
like
lot of maps.
they were like
They're decent on a lot
upsetting
of
like
maps.
yeah, they were upsetting. I also recently in playoffs, they were upsetting Team Heretics on Sunset. Like they were doing a lot of good stuff. So yeah,
I think
Trace first
definitely.
Talon. That's a coin flip in my
Yeah.
mind. I think going with Talon, they do have a lot of firepower. Governor, uh, Premi, like they likely can just team diff Trace, but I think it's very possible you see a Trace upset.
And then
It really depends
finally,
on how well they've implemented it.
this is another hard one. This is another
This
stack
is a
group.
tough group. This is a tough group. Uh,
Um, I guess we'll start with the banger matchup here: G2 versus Paper X. Um,
I I just have to go with G2 on this because PaperX have not been looking great in my opinion. Their map pool is kind of weak. They've been playing better than they did at Shanghai. I didn't like what they did at Shanghai, but G2 up until they were played Lev in Grand Finals of Americas
we're looking
were
good.
looking really good. Like they were playing as a unit. It literally takes Icy playing good for them to win a game. If Icy doesn't play poorly, which is happening less and less, they will win the game. Like in my mind, 100%.
And now,
But there's always that possibility.
this is the grand finals where G2 lost two of the maps in overtime, by the way, to Lev.
Yeah, that too. That too. Like they still played extremely close games
And
against Lev,
like,
who's probably with Genji as there's two favorites in my mind. It's Lev and Genji,
and now
and
G2
G2
is a
still
team
played super close. Yeah.
that I would like. I really like because they're not a team. No offense to anyone on their team that has like this star player, like an ass pass or someone who's going to have to play well for them to win.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like G2
They
is just even across the board. Like I
yep.
want to point out Valorant
It,
being so good. Like his calls
none of
against
their players.
and Sentinels was
I don't know
incredible.
about you. Yeah, I don't know about you. None of the players on G2 made my top 10 players, but they still were like that's not because any of them are bad. They are all like top 15 players that will all play well together. Like they play good Valorant. You
I
know.
have one of them, but the main thing is the fundamentals on that team are so drilled.
Also,
It's so
it's the
good.
rematch. It's the guard rematch, Revenge for Reykjavik of
Yes, I
2022.
I'm gonna have to switch my pick up for this one. For Edward Gaming versus Foot. Um,
Uh, Honestly, there's a decent chance that EDG can beat Foot here because Foot is another team with like not a super deep map pool. They are perfect at Ascent. I don't think they've lost an Ascent kit this year. I could be wrong on that one. And they're decent at like a Lotus, at like an Icebox. They were good at Split, but Split's out. So there's a possibility for the upset against EDG. EDG's I don't think EDG in my mind has a good map, but they don't have a bad map, at least compared to the
are
Chinese
we
teams.
are we picking EDG here?
I don't know. Honestly, I think it's more about how if Foot can like eke out that second map. In my mind, they are going to win a map. This is not a 2-0 series either way, though.
This is 2-1 either way.
It is, yeah, this is 2-1 either way. Honestly, I think it's it's a lot of Kang Kang versus CNET or UTJ. If he can pop off, then I think Foot has a very good chance. But I don't know.
Let's go with that.
But what do you think? No, because
You
I've
know
been
what?
dominating these.
I think well, we have China like losing a lot. Like
Yeah, give them their win. Give them a
we
win.
got to give China a win. That's just we got to give them a win. We have them going 0-8 right now. So
They're still losing to Juchi though. So
yes, but um, all right. Foot Esports, Paper X.
Paper X versus
Paper X
Foot
probably wins for.
Lowers.
I feel like
Um, I mean it's a similar thing. Like these are two teams with not very deep map pools. Um,
I just feel like
but that also
they
means
could just
both of them are
balance
going
better
to
on
get.
Paper X.
Yeah, both teams are going to get their map pick. Likely another 2-1 in my opinion. But Paper X just has the better talent to win the map three. So I'd go with Paper X. I'm not
This is another
hyped.
good matchup. I like this one a
I'm
lot.
not. I'm not super hyped for Paper X this tournament, but I can't deny that they're still really good players.
All right.
EDG versus Paper X. We've seen this at Chance before. I believe they got grouped by EDG in Istanbul, 2022. So
Didn't we also see it last
we've
year at Jams? If I'm not mistaken.
maybe I don't know. We've seen this matchup multiple times before. I
Let me
believe
here. You talk and I'll look it up.
I believe Paper X is 1-1 for this. I could be wrong, but I mean it's a very similar thing that I've been hammering this map point a lot. But I have to go with Paper X just like player diff. The even like the calling like that's a thing where like I think you can beat Paper X is if you have like big brain FNS game plan kind of stuff. That's like how like you're able to do it a lot. But like EDG doesn't have that. At least they haven't had it recently. They haven't really had a super complex strat book in my opinion. So I think there's a high possibility that that Paper X just like player gets them in 2-0s this game. Um,
Also, just to confirm on
but
something we talked about earlier, Paper X did beat Ever Gaming 2-0 at last year's champs
okay,
in the winners bracket group stage.
okay.
So,
Yeah, but yep. Same. I think it's going to be a 2-0 for Paper X.
all right. Well,
I think Paper.
that is our pick'em. So going to playoffs, we have Fnatic, DRX, Gen G, Heretics, Leviathan, Vitality, G2, and Paper X. Now, of those teams, I'm going to make you choose one winner and talk about that, and then we'll move on to our top 10 players. We can each choose our winner. You're going to go first. I'm going to go second.
I mean, the boring answer is Gen G, but I'm gonna go with Viaton. I think Aspas is the goat of Valorant, undeniably. He had like 90 first bloods, first kills to like 50 first deaths, in all of stage two. No one else gets near that ratio. Like almost a um to one like ratio of first kills to first deaths is insane. And Lev doesn't have great 5v4 stats, but I still think being at that like player advantage so often is it's just such a buff for a team to, like just win a tournament. And also everyone else on the team is playing insane. Massino is like cracked at so many different agents. He's like one of the few good deadlocks in NA, in my opinion. Uh, he's good at Harbor. He's good at Breach. You got Calm, who's finally not trolling.
Bro,
He was having a rough first stage. He was having a rough first stage. Now he's looking really good. Like I think like finals, he was like number 2 rated on the team. Uh, King is like the fragging IGL. And then Tex is looking so solid on the Sentinel. He has those games where like he'll outshine Aspas, which is just like crazy to like have on the team. So I think there is a very strong likelihood we see Lev go deep. There's also this possibility we see another Shanghai and this team just falls apart. But I'd say I think this team's making the finals. I think it's going to be a Genji versus Lev finals.
All right. And now I could pick Genji or Lev, but I'm gonna pick something a little more out of left field, and I think my pick's gonna be Fnatic. Um,
That's probably my third option. Yeah.
I think this team has looked very good with Hero. I feel
Yep.
like um, watching some of the post game interviews and just the way they treated that finals, and like the way that the coach talked about it, it was like he was like, "Oh yeah, we were just testing some things. We just wanted to play some of the maps we haven't played." I feel like they have a very deep map pool, and they're confident to at least be good at most of the maps. And I feel like at champs, like we saw EG last year win a lot of games at champs and winning champs just because they had that fracture in their back pocket or having a deep map pool. That was a very, you know, potent factor to them doing so well last year. And I think the experience, and I think both Alphayer and Durga, I think Alphayer's, he had a rough finals on the ISO, and maybe they'll figure out the ISO to a point where it's more comfortable for him. But
I'm
he's,
hoping that they kind of move away from that
yeah,
a
I
little
do
bit.
too, but I don't think they're
But
going to at this point.
it has been working for them. Like they've been just playing out of their minds. So
And I
it
just
works.
think, the real MVP in that team being Chronicle right now, just playing out of his mind. Like just the goat. I love Chronicle. I always have. I think, and I just think in total, this, um, the experience in this team is finally to give Fnatic, that crowning achievement of being champs. I know they won Tokyo and lock in, and good for them. But this is gonna be the crown jewel, winning champs this year, and so that's my pick.
Sadly, we're both wrong, and it is Genji, and Genji will be considered the first perfect dynasty. But that's that's uh that's just an issue for another time.
And the only thing they lost to was Zelsus shaking his ass. And now, next on our agenda for today, we have the top 10 players for our champs list. So
Do you want to start from the bottom
we'll
three to show
start.
off some honorable
We'll do our
mentions?
honorable mentions. I'll let you go first, and then
Okay, okay.
I'll do mine.
So I chose. Actually, it's all three EMEA players. Oh, dude, what am I doing? Sorry. We'll start with CNET. This man is still one of the like best offers in the game. Like him and Cryo are players you get them that op because they then will win you a map solely off them having an op and just being able to like play the map with that. Um, I don't think he has like as good of a team structure to put him up with the top players. A lot of these players in my top 10 have like better support. They have I guess more behind them. But CNET is still like such a crap player that I just couldn't not say it. Then Rienz. I think he might be my only Team Heretics player. I could be wrong. Maybe I put Wood somewhere. Rienz has been the silent hero of Team Heretics. I haven't seen people say his name enough. This man's support util is insane. It is like up there with Ethan's from last year. He's like doing so much. Just let Mini Boot and Woot frag out and just dominate games. That like I've stolen so many things from this man. It's crazy how good he is. And then they're safe. I don't know why this man
Also,
ever went on IGL. He is the best duelist in EMEA, in my opinion. Uh, there's a lot of inting. There's a lot of like just running it down, and sometimes he makes some dumb plays. That you saw that a lot on Team Liquid last year. Like there was a lot of just un like they had to hold back some of that aggression in order to actually win, and you see that like just aggression burst forth sometimes. But he's still insane. This man could single handedly get Vitality deep in this tournament. All three MEA players though.
all
So
right, are you done?
yes.
All right. So first off, I definitely missed on Marianne's. That was a miss for me. I'll admit that. So here's what I got. Um,
Puh, puh, puh. Chronicle as an honorable mention.
I don't know how we got down here. I don't know. I've also done this with
This
other
man
teams.
is like
Yeah, no, I was seeing his
the
places.
best flex in the game.
You know what? We'll move this away. We'll start with Jing, because I love Jing, and I'm very happy he gets to play the game again. Um, and I really think if Paper Rex is going to go far, he's the X factor. He's going to be the guy who takes them over the line. I like something.
Okay.
I don't really think he's that much like. I don't like. I think he's going to deliver what he delivers and not go above and beyond. Same with Forsaken. Maybe him a little more than for something, but Jing's the guy. Second, all of FPX.
I have some thoughts on that statement. We'll cover that later though.
I think FPX. I can't pick a single player on that team. I
Just
could
as
pick
a
like
team.
Life, and but
Okay.
like I really think all of those guys, like Autumn's had games, Life's had games, can like sing, like just shoot and make the other team
If
lose. So when he
as
gets
long
involved,
as they
it's
don't
FPX.
throw away their lives and just like swing an angle solo dry, they are very good players. But they do have a tendency to just throw. So
And then I guess Chronicle, maybe he's a little too low here, and I'll take blame for
he's
that.
100% too low. He's 100% too low.
I gotta see what I have above him. Um,
I'm concerned.
I am
Who's I'm
concerned.
gonna flame you for every single person above him.
I maybe should
But
have
we'll
revised this list and not wrote it at 3 a.m. after I wrote my literature essay, but all
mm,
good.
mm.
Um,
do okay. Well,
Chronicle
let's see some of the higher ones so I
7
can
through
flame you.
10,
We'll talk about Chronicle more when I show him.
7 through
Uh,
10 for you, or do you want to do both of ours
yeah,
at the
yeah,
same
yeah.
time? We can
Just me,
react to each other's.
just me. Yeah, let's do both. No, just me, just me. Just fucking. uh, so I have Forsaken at number 10. He is such a good flex. Actually, he hasn't been flexing. He's been playing a lot more Initiator, and Devi's been flexing. But Forsaken has been playing very well. And stats wise, I believe he's number 2 on PRX and in stage 2. And he, in my opinion, has been playing to a lot of the problem with Paper Rex, I think, early days was Forsaken was never super consistent. He would have those off games, and it was 100% understandable because he's flexing. He's playing like 10 different agents, I think, at last chance or something. He's gonna have a bad game with one of those agents, but he's been way more consistent now. He's on a more consistent role, and it's I think given him really good looks. Then we have Zekin, the
Boo.
Duelist King on Sen.
Boo.
I couldn't not include him because he is the second best player in America, if I'm not mistaken, during stage 2 stats wise. He doesn't have the same number of like first kills to first deaths ratio as Ospas, but he still pulls off like crazy plays and has just really good stats. I think he might be the highest in ACS in the region, even higher than Ospas, though his rating isn't as high.
I mean, the most
But
important
he's
stat
still
in the
just,
game, VLR rating.
yep, VLR rating. Yep. Very important. But I want to see him on Neon. Like he was great on Neon back in the day. He was doing some crazy stuff, but he's just been on Raised Jet. But I mean, he's still really good. And then I have King. I do want to make a specify something right here. I don't rate player IGLs. It's very hard to actually judge how good an IGL is. Sometimes it's more like a team environment or something along those lines. So the King is up here number 8, just purely off his own fracking ability, which is crazy as an IGL. Like you think IGL, you think, oh, they don't frag. Uh, King is still like such a good player. He's on smokes on Lev, which is not an easy role to go crazy on, and he does it. He goes absolutely insane. I want to say he is number 3 in like ACS in Americas. I could be wrong. I don't know. He is a fragging IGL, and his ranking here is not even considering his IGL. He has really good games on his calling as well. And then Kang Kang, I couldn't not put a Chinese player. I felt like that was a bit disrespectful, and he is just far and away the best Chinese player. He had a rough. I want to say he had a pretty rough start of the year, but he is looking amazing right now.
So I will
He had
say
like
I
a
don't have King K on my
260
list,
ACS.
but if if I were to give award to who has the most aura at champs,
Oh yeah.
it's King King. Bro, that walkout
Oh
he
yeah.
did at the VCT China finals, oh bro had infinite aura. So I'll give him that.
Yeah. I want to see him do some fucking emotes live again.
Okay,
That
let's see
shit
let's
was
see what
hype.
let's see what we got here on my side of the board. Oh, okay. So yeah, my of
Okay.
my of
No.
my my guard or G2 player who made it on the list, it's Valen.
Okay.
He's a
I'm
rising
assuming
act.
you're including IGL.
Yeah, I am
I'm
including
assuming you're
IGL
including
here.
IGL. Okay.
Just because of the fact that I think even in games, I watch a lot of G2 games, and even in games when he's not on the scoreboard top fragging, he plays very well in crucial rounds. He plays very safe. He trades very well, and even on like rounds like when he's playing like a more attacking style agent like Harbor, he has the aim. And like there's games where he's like dropping like 28, and like and IGLing the like diffing other teams, and it's like I really value that. Number nine, Mazzino. My God, he's
I very much consider putting Mazzino at least in an honorable mention. This man has been doing crazy stuff.
I feel like if Lev are to win champs, it is going to need Mazzino to be riding that horse with Aspas. And
Hmm.
the way he has been playing lately, the way he played in the Americas finals, I forgot which map, but I think it was the Lotus where he had like 34 kills or something. Like that,
Yeah. He's been crazy.
allowing Aspas to, you know, maybe save some of himself for another series kind of thing or another map, and just like he has been playing very well, and also on on the like initiator and the support role too. So I have
Hmm.
safe much higher than you have him. I think if Vitality are to get out of groups this event and are to win anything in the playoffs, it's going to be a safe masterclass. I think, Vitality wasn't even a team that I didn't pay much attention to EMEA split to. I think I just like I know I forgot to stop doing my pickums or whatever. And when I saw Vitality make playoffs, I was like, huh? Like no, I was like, what the fuck? And I looked at it and it's just like safe. I mean, obviously the rest of
Hmm.
their team's very good, but if I had to say there's a catalyst behind it, it's safe. At number
Yeah.
seven, I have Woot, and now looking at my list, I might have him too low.
I was like, let's cover the. None of these players are better than Chronicle. They're all amazing players, very good players. None of them are better than Chronicle.
You know,
Disrespecting the goat.
okay, it's my bad. I'll do some push-ups after this podcast episode. Okay, I'll make you feel
Okay.
better.
But no, let's not to ignore Woot is a very good player. He, I wanted to put him. I was really stuck between him, Zek, and Forsaken in that number 9, 10. But
I think I made
I,
my
I, I
list in more of like players that I think when they're playing at their best, they're most
okay.
influential for their team. And I think another thing with like Team Heretics is they're almost like G2, but if G2 were all closer to those star players. Like Woot, I think Benji doesn't get enough talk. I love Benji because I'm a Fortnite kid, and I think,
Hmm.
he's the GOAT. But, Woot, Benji, Mini Boo, Big Boo, the GOATs.
Hmm.
I think, they're almost as, like, in my eyes, like the EMEA version of G2 with a little more firepower. So I'm a big
Okay.
fan of Woot and what he's done. Um, it's funny how he was on the duelist and he's still putting up numbers off the duelist, and it's just like, I mean, whatever he's doing it great. So I
Yeah.
think we go to your 4 to 6. We do top three.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
What we'll do is actually we'll do. I think we'll do top 2 and 3, and then we'll do one because I feel like we're not.
Okay.
We both agree on one of them.
So Karen, I don't even think this needs to be covered that long. Rookie of the year, like his stats are insane. Doing it on smokes, not a very easy role, and he's just cracked. Like Genji, has so many cracked players, but he still is up there. It's insane. Alfier is the best Sentinels player at the event. Less isn't making
Agreed.
it, so there's just no competition. Alfier clears. I don't even, again, don't even need to talk about that much. But this guy, the next guy that I have to talk about, Divide,
David.
the best, David, the best PRX player currently. He stats wise is freaking clearing the rest of his team during stage two. Even with their poor performance during playoffs, Dave David is still higher ranked than like for Sia player, Karen, Texture, Munchin, some fraggers. He is still doing better than them because David is looking insane. He's on that flex role more than Forsaken is really. He's playing like Viper. He's playing Sky. He's playing Sage. I think he played some Fade. Um, and like Sova as well. He's doing so many. Like he is the flex on PaperX now. Like you still have that image of Forsaken as flex. No, it is Devi, and he is fragging. He is putting up numbers while also playing a great like support. You were talking about how you think if PaperX go deep, it's because of Jing. No, it's gonna be because of Devi, and no one will recognizing it. No one's gonna recognize it, even if PaperX do well. Everyone's still gonna point towards something. They're still gonna point towards Jing. They're still gonna point towards Forsaken and Mind Freaks there too. But they're just gonna completely ignore Devi putting up numbers, and it's a travesty because this man is the real unsung hero of PaperX.
You know what?
Just had to do that.
And you know what? I should give David his flowers, and I apologize, David. I know you're watching this because the most important thing you
Mm-hmm.
guys can be doing at this moment is watching the DSS podcast. Now, for those of you who are new here, make sure that you like and subscribe because actually we're reviving this channel, whether or not you know it. We're gonna try to do more
Sure.
frequent podcasts, and then sooner or later, there's a new DSS video coming out. Some montages of some interesting things that have been happening in our server, and maybe even a new team announcement soon. What do you think about that, Lord Buckethead?
Uh, some of the clips are bad, so maybe they don't want to watch that. Actually, no, they want to watch the video to see how bad.
They want us. No, the great editing's great, and that's what matters. Anyhow, we're gonna
Okay,
get back to the
okay.
list now. We just have to do the shameless subscribe, like pug bullshit. Anyhow,
Hmm.
okay, this is where I start to
Oh
get to.
shit! I forgot about DRX.
This is where I start to get to the APAC part of the list. Um, yeah. So Mako
So I
may
gotta, I got,
be
I gotta, I
the
gotta do
best
your
smokes
apology.
player at the event. He might just be the best smokes player at the event. Mako has been
Yeah.
around for so long. He has been so good for so long. And this man, you know what? Fuck it. He has more aura than King King. Bro doesn't. You see Mako walk on that stage, bro. I shit my pants immediately. Like it's over. And if you thought
Yeah.
Mako on one side was enough, Buzz is sitting right next to him. And Buzz has been playing really well as well. Now he didn't have a great series against Gen G in the finals, but up until then, obviously when I heard Stax was left DRX earlier this season, I was a little concerned because, I was a big Stax fan. I thought, Stax was a lot towards why DRX was, getting to the events and, had some of their wins. Obviously they didn't go farther than, whatever the sixth place finish was. Or maybe they got a fourth once, right?
Yeah. DRX.
Yeah.
DRX have gotten top three.
Oh, I'm dumb. Anyhow, but yeah, but Buzz has been playing really well. Mako's been playing really well. And I think those are two factors of why DRX has been playing very well. And I see them
Hmm.
going pretty far at this event. Now, the next guy is what we call a guy. Because Texture, between Madrid, Shanghai, stage one, stage two, is the guy. Obviously, everyone on Gen G, maybe outside of Lakia, who, there's certain viewers of this may not like. I know there's a certain person who might watch this and does not like Lakia, um, but they throw great util. So, no offense to Lakia, but Texture is in the series against DRX. He went 24 and 14 on first kill, first deaths in four
Oh, he's
matches.
one of the few players that like rivals Ospas for first kills, first death. Like I
And
think Textures is like 100 to 70. It's crazy.
And in that, like in this meta, where, you know, if it's a weird meta, but it's definitely one where I feel like the first blood is more influential than it has been in a while. It's not like the
Oh,
chamber meta where,
it's a lot more chaotic. Yeah, there's a lot more stuff going on, and getting that first blood is a lot more on like the players themselves, I think. And Getting those first buzzer is good, very good
And
for
the
the
fact that he
team.
has such a high ratio just shows how well, one, how well talented he is, and two, how well the team surrounding him is.
Yeah,
But yeah, so that's okay. So let's get into number 2 and 3.
yeah. So I'm
Mr.
you're gonna notice like I said I forgot about DRX just fully while making this list. So I definitely
Okay,
have some omissions there. But hey, you put Chronicle in honorable mentions. The number three, the best EMEA player. He's Chronicle is the go. He's doing it while flexing. He is the best flex because all these flex players they'll have bad games occasionally when they like flex to not their best agent. No, Chronicle plays Viper. He plays Deadlock. He plays Sky, and he's good on all of them. He's like he makes Deadlock look like the most meta agent ever because he is just the goat. He puts up duelist numbers on non-duelists. It's I don't even know what to say. The fact that you have an honorable entrance pisses me off. You should like
okay.
rethink
Now
your choices.
looking at my list, I would put him at least above Woot. At least.
Okay,
I move the
that's better.
list down by one.
Okay,
Mm, yeah, something like that. And then I spoke
okay.
about texture. Is there anything else you want to add about the my Gen
No,
G goat?
I mean, like I said, his stats are insane.
Okay, you
Great
missed a Gen
support
G
team.
player, and I'm putting him on my
I
list.
mean, I'm aware of this. I missed the IGL because I don't rate IGL ability.
And I think Munchkin, despite being an IGL, is still a fragger, and you can't tell me any different. He puts up numbers like I don't see many other IGLs playing. He plays very smart. He's playing on a passive role too. In the finals,
I
he
mean,
played Viper and KO, and like he still gets like those just impact frags. And then also Genji is the most like they're drilled. They're good on every map. He's got to be IGLing out the shit out of it. And finally, Alpha. Um,
we already
I
best sentinel in
yeah, but
the tournament.
I think you underrate him here. I think he
I mean, I think Alphier has an insane fragging potential. I think
potential.
he has
I just okay.
just
Here's my thought
he's
here.
insane in fragger, but I don't think he brings like the team like utility, like the complex additive nature of like all these other players. Like a duelist, they get those first bloods. That's what adds as a player. Support players, flexies, you get those like taking space. You get the ability. Alpha's value is a lot of off just on sentinel fragging. Like he will hold down a sight because he's just better at aiming. And I think I've always said, even like if Les was here, Alpha is the best player who plays Sentinel. Les is the best Sentinel player because Alpha is so much like he makes ISO look good because he can just aim div everybody. And I mean, I don't see him bringing more value to a team than his teammate Chronicle, who has carried them through. I'm the fact that you have Alpha way above Chronicle, when Chronicle not only is out fragging Alphier, he's also doing better support than Alphier. But, you know, what can I say? You're disrespecting the GOAT.
Okay. Well, we may not agree on much on this list. I have a slight suspicion that our
Oh,
number
I
one
wonder who's our
pick
number one. I
is
wonder who's number one.
quite similar, and I'll let you take it away. The goat, Aspas.
I have loved Aspas since he freaking diffed that fraud yay on Optic. Terrible team, terrible player. Because Aspas exposed him at Champs Istanbul, showed how Brazil is the best region. Aspas is the GOAT. He never fails. He can play any duelist. He can play Jet. He can play Neon. He can play Reyna. He can play Raze to perfection. Every single one of them. And look at that. Look at that man. Look at that. He got sent. He got sent to champs. He played his mind out to get his buddy Saucy to champs. That is why he's the GOAT. He understands not only how to play the game amazingly, but also that clout matters, that the send clout is important to the game. And that is the best player in the game. Undeniably, diffs everybody. We talked about aura. This man doesn't need aura. He has skill.
He is the aura.
Yes, couldn't put it better.
Um,
I love Aspas. Been a fan since 2022. Best player in the game.
so with that, that is all of the planned stuff for the podcast. Mr. Buckethead, do you have any closing thoughts? Anything you wanted to touch on before we end? I know we're going a little over time, so
Oh, both our top 10 suck. We both
yeah.
forgot people. Uh, we really should have thought about this more. I just kind of just started listing players
So how about
in like
this?
how they came to
We
mind.
we reconvene.
But I think mine's better than yours. I want to say that. I think my top 10 are better than yours.
No,
You
I
forgot.
think you're
You
wrong.
forgot,
I think
dude.
your
You put
bottom
Chronicle and
five.
honorable mentions. You put
Okay,
Chronicle and honorable
I
mentions.
think if you took our lists and you took the numbers out, my top 10's better than yours. Mine's misordered. You just miss players. And I think misordered is less of a problem than missing a player entirely.
I mean, I did forget some DRX players, but also Buzz isn't better than Safe or what or Mizzino or Valen. Buzz is like a good duelist, but he doesn't get the duelist value that these other players get. Buzz has like a even first kill to first death ratio. Let me check this stat.
Um,
What is Buzz's first kills to first deaths? Uh let's see. 98 first kills to 95 first deaths. That's your number 5? That's your number 5? Place he's lower than Chempkin on RRQ. You good?
hold on a second.
Envy on Team Secret. Also, you have Jing as I believe your only PRX player. Am I wrong on that one? And he's diffed by something Forsaken and Divide.
Are
Do
you
I
guys
need to
looking at
pull up
my
the
Lord
Hey, no,
Buckethead?
no, pull up the Abyss clip. Pull up the Abyss clip.
Oh no 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 no! These viewers don't need to see anything like that. We
They need to see the Abyss clip. They
the
need to
abyss
see
clip,
the Abyss clip.
the abyss clip.
They need
Uh
to see that the falling off the map twice in one game and then buying it off and shooting 10 bullets and not hitting a single one
here's how
is what
about
they
this?
need to
How about
see.
this? If we get 10 likes on this video, I will make a montage of all of my shit moments.
Hmm. And
10
also admit
likes,
that Buzz is way too high.
and I'll admit my list is shit. But if we get okay, here's what we'll do. If we get 10 likes,
And also, you didn't even put a Sen player on here, you freaking fraud. Aren't you a Sen fan?
yeah, but like I'm sorry, I'm being partial. Hold on, shut up. I'm making a thing. If I get 10
Partial?
likes on this video, then I will make a video of me playing of all my shit moments. However, if we get 10 comments on this video, Lord Buckethead has to retract his statements about his list, and he has to post a whifftage to the world.
Dude, you know I don't have clips.
Well,
I'll post the one with I have clipped. Sure.
all right. Well, you guys heard it first. Thank you for tuning in again. See this thing? You want to make sure you're subscribed. 10 is bad. We want like 20, 50, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 10,001. Like, wait. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. All right. Well, this is
I
Trombone
mean,
Man
I think it
Noah.
would help if we had more than 4 videos. You fraud.
I'm the only one making them. Lazy ass. Anyhow, this has been Trombone Man Noah and the Fraud Lord Buckethead with our DSS podcast signing out.